Hey, Ric-Hard. For today's special guest, we have the one-man band. I hope he brought all his instruments and stuff. What song do you want him to play?
Oh, I think I know. I think you know what song I want him to play. So get that guitar ready, because I'm just one man.
No. Hit the music. Welcome to TFS POD, otherwise known as the View Show Podcast. This is 24/7 Lou, and that's
Ric-Hard. We miss you, Heath.
The View Show Podcast, the number one show on the Fuse YouTube channel. The Fuse YouTube channel, number one show, not like the other guys and who are put a show every once a week. But you know what? I have to mention one thing. I want to give a big shout out. I want everyone to go on there after you listen to this stuff, to what we're putting out. Watch out the other videos of the interviews that Captain Bogey did at SPW. A lot of good interviews. Excellent trivia. This one guy was on there doing a trivia thing. I think it was, who was it? Do you know who it was, Ric-Hard?
He looks familiar, but I can't quite place who it was.
Yeah. I think it was me. Yes, it was me.
We should get him on this show.
It was me doing. I had a trivia segment there, interviewing, doing a trivia with Big Al and Rhino from the Few family. So yeah, it was an interesting segment we have there. So yeah, guys.
Yeah, folks. In case you didn't know, Lou is the Corey Graves at Survivor Series for the Few channel.
Oh yeah,
he's on both shows.
I'm on both shows, exactly. So yeah, folks, when you get a chance, check out the rest of the videos here on the Fuse YouTube channel, and check out the other stuff here on the 24/7 Miami channel as well. So we're continuing on with our special guest for these episodes. It's the one-man band. He's on the A show in another universe, TGA, the Gamers Addict. Welcome again, one-man band. So let's continue with what our questions that we were going through before. Who is the blank of this era? We're going to start off with who is the Sting of this era. We're going to start off with one-man band.
All right, so for Sting, I was thinking about this one throughout our talks and such, and I'm probably gonna go with AJ Styles on this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, and here's my logic behind it. So I don't know if you guys know this, but AJ Styles briefly started in WCW. He had a few dark matches in WCW, but they folded around that time. So he obviously went on to TNA and had his amazing trajectory in TNA. He was bred to be one of the top guys in there, and then he had that line with Aces and Eights where he kind of left for a little while, but then he came back as the Lone Wolf. And then if you think about it, Sting, same thing, obviously with NWO. Was obviously the Crow persona, the Enigma. Yeah. Didn't wrestle for over a year. AJ Styles didn't wrestle for quite a while during that time too, and it ended up the reason being was because his contract was finishing up, and then he ended up going to New Japan. I know Sting was a lifer throughout his WCW career, and ended up going to TNA because WCW folded. He took a hiatus for a little bit. I know he was with World Wrestling All-Stars for a little while, but then that company folded, and then he went to TNA. So their trajectory has been kind of similar. Obviously, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think Sting's career was a lot more impactful to me because I lived Sting's career. AJ Styles' career, I didn't get to see much of it when he went to New Japan. But I did follow up on it, and it was an amazing time. He did take over Finn Balor's spot as the leader of the Bullet Club, and I know that Sting was technically the leader of the Main Event Mafia. Aside from that, I mean, they have similar styles. Sting was very high flyer at the beginning. AJ Styles kind of still is, but I know he's been getting grounded a little bit more now. I know he's getting up there in age. They're both very religious. I would say that, yeah, I mean, I really have not much to add on that, but
okay.
I'm going to, yeah.
All right, so you're saying AJ Styles is the Sting of this era.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Okay, and then Ric-Hard?
That's going to be really difficult to top, honestly. Wow. Okay, so you mentioned this guy previously and you compared him to someone else, but I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to stick with it because I already made it. And plus, face paint don't lie. Finn Balor, baby. That's what I'm saying. All right, so you got the fact that Sting, when he finally took the title off of Hogan, I think he was forced to relinquish it the next night.
Yes.
It was a huge moment. He was forced to relinquish it by
J.J. Dillon.
J.J. Dillon, there you go. Thank you. And it was very unpopular. And Finn Balor had to do the same thing, just the next night. Different reason, but still. And similar to that, when he came back to NXT, Finn Balor looked like he was going to fight the arguable NWO of NXT, Undisputed Era, the shock to the system, if you will. And then he kind of just went loner, and he's kind of a heel right now. But maybe not the most apt comparison. But come on, man, they both wear face paint. Let's give him some credit here. Face paint bros.
Yeah. Just because of the face paint?
It ain't makeup. It's face paint, Lou. I remember that. I remember that commercial.
Body paint too. I don't know, man. That's. Ooh.
In case that reference went over both your guys' head, there's a commercial where Sting says it's not makeup, it's face paint, and I think it's from the 90s.
It is a Sprite commercial.
There we go.
I remember that.
Oh, isn't there also a Sprite commercial where he beats up a kid?
Yeah, yes. I remember watching that live. I remember when that first aired. God, he beat the crap out of the kid.
Yeah, I want to see Finn Balor do that. There you go. My metaphor would be complete if Finn Balor does a commercial where he beats up a kid. Until then, I will give the win to One Man Band on that one. He nailed it, I think, with AJ Styles.
Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, the question is, who is the Ric Flair of this era? We'll start with Ric-Hard.
Oh, okay.
Man, wait, what was that sigh?
No, because One Man Band got it really good on the last one, so I feel like he's going to blow my pick out of the water. But here we go. I'm going to give him my best shot. So when you think of Ric Flair, you think dirtiest player in the game, cheap tricks, kind of being a part of a stable to some degree in order to stay at the top. And also having a period where he was gone from the main scene and then came back, that being between the point where WCW folded and then 2002 when he returned, even though he returned as a co-owner. So when I look at that, and this one's going to be, again, it just barely passes the criteria that we use, I'm going to say Edge.
Oh. Ooh, Edge.
Ooh.
Didn't expect that one.
Yes. Won the championships most of the time with shenanigans, dirty tactics, and, of course, opportunism. Had La Familia back when he had Hawkins and Ryder, when they were just the Edgeheads.
Yes.
Chavo Guerrero. I forget the bald guy's name. And all around, he padded himself up with people to protect him. Ric Flair prides himself with being a ladies' man. Come on, he got Vicky Guerrero. That's got to mean something. Lita. There we go.
Oh
there
my
we go.
God!
Beth Phoenix. I'm just nailing these names out of the park here.
Yeah,
there you go.
God. Man.
At first I thought when you said that you were stretching it out there, but yeah, I still think that. No.
No, hey, it's not the perfect comparison, but
No, I like it.
I think he's well over 10 title reigns.
Yeah.
So he's definitely at the 2-digit mark.
Yeah.
I like it.
Considering his recent return, I think he might get close to that mark, maybe.
All right, and before we listen to One Man Band's pick, listen to TFS Pod, otherwise known as a Few Show podcast, with 24/7
otherwise known as the A Show.
Oh, known as the A Show with 24/7 Lou, Ric-Hard, and our special guest today is the One Man Band. So, One Man Band, who is the Ric Flair of this era?
Ooh, that is a tough one, and man, Ric-Hard hit it good with that one with Edge. That didn't even come to mind, so I gotta give you that one, Rick. But
all right.
But I'm gonna try, and oddly enough, this guy was in a stable with him, so he was in Evolution. So I'm probably gonna go with. I know they don't have the same persona, but hear me out. Randy Orton.
Okay.
Well, and reason being, Randy Orton, of course, dastardly heel. He plays great off as a heel. As a face, he's so bland. And Ric Flair was the same. As a face, yeah, he was funny, but nobody cared for him as a face like that. When he was a heel, doing all his dastardly tactics, hitting people, low blows. Randy Orton, punting people in the head, with his Legend Killer phase.
Okay.
Just kind of going through that whole heel persona of I'm at the top, or I'm gonna get to the top, and I'm gonna be this multiple-time world champion. Now, obviously, not as much as Ric Flair, but I believe Randy Orton has held I want to say 13 titles, maybe.
Yeah, he's in the double digits also.
He's in the double digits.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know right off the top of my head, but I want to say 13. But will he get it? I don't think so. I think his championship days are probably done, unless he pulls a Goldberg. But we'll see. But I would say they were stablemates. Modern era horseman kind of deal, and he went on and he went into his singles career, which is a very successful singles career. It's not nearly as flashy as Ric Flair, but he had his own pizzazz to it, and he had a great finisher with RKO, which is not an original one. Diamond Dallas Page was the original Diamond Cutter guy, but
all right, take it easy there, AJ Styles.
Hey,
hey. But not with a second-rate Diamond Cutter.
Hey, he can hit it from anywhere too, though. But yeah, I would say Randy Orton. I know it's a stretch, but I think if you take out the flashy persona and the womanizer, I know Randy Orton was not a womanizer of sorts. I did hear that he did have a little bit of a fandom in backstage, but that's
that's something. Yeah, that's something that's in front of the cameras that we see.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Randy Orton calls his, but Space Mountain is legendary. So.
Yeah. Very true.
All right. I like that. That was very good. And Ric-Hard, do you have a fun fact for us to get going on for?
You actually want to hear it? All right, perfect. I'm not even going to wait for an interruption on this one. Fact number 858. Did you know Heath Slater had a half-a-month run as a WWE referee in 2018?
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
There we go. All right, that's my fact.
1, 2, 3.